JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 3rd of June 2022. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this Friday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD JFD Brokers website, and specifically our market news and analysis page, which is updated on a daily basis. So I believe you can find a lot of useful information right there. Now then, guys, jumping into the charts. So let me start off with Nikkei as always. We managed to clear up this barrier here, the 27,580. We managed to break above the downside line, the 200-day EMA. So all is nice here for the bulls, and to be honest, we managed to stay above this area. So in a way, this is increasing the chances for this index to drift further north. So for now, we will keep an eye on this hurdle here, the barrier, the 27,580, and of course this downside line. If we somehow the index drifts back down and moves below this downside line and maybe even breaks this upside one, taken from the low the 12th of May, then that's where a few sellers could join in, and we could see some further declines. But we'll get to that point if we do see a break below this upside line. For now, we're leaning towards the upside as long as the index remains above this 27,580 zone. Shanghai Composite, very quickly on this one, so also nice reversal here, a nice push to the upside. A really nice reversal from this highlighted territory, the 3,160 zone. So everything's looking quite nice here. The index pushed higher, but not maybe significantly, but still remains above that hurdle. So that's why we will be very careful with this. Of course, we're still a little bit more bullish than bearish. However, guys, at the moment I would say continue monitoring this. Today's the index is not trading. Today's China was off. So from work, nevertheless, yesterday it managed to remain above it. But if, let's say, today's trading in Europe, in the US, will go through on a positive note, then we could see maybe Shanghai Composite also opening up nicely with a gaps here to the upside on Monday. So let's see how this is going to play out, guys. Now, jumping into the German index, DAX, we reversed higher, pushed back above the 100-day EMA, and I talked about this highlighted territory. I said that if somehow it provides support, we could see a nice rebound here, a push higher, and then we could see a move towards that the 14,510 zone, somewhere around here, or even towards this 14,603 territory, which I spoke about previously. So let me just quickly have a look at the cash index. I think that we might see a bit of a push. Yeah, okay, so that's great. So the cash index is currently sitting at around 14,595 territory. So yesterday we've closed below this, but the futures did push higher on the together with the US session. And now we're currently near this barrier, near this key resistance barrier, and let me just probably put this one on the chart. So I would say if we climb above it today and stay above it, then yeah, I will go for some higher levels, but specifically I will go for the 200-day EMA initially, which is roughly around that 14,730 zone, and then we'll just take it from there. In terms of the downside, now, of course, I would prefer to wait for a drop below this upside line taken from the low the 12th of May. If we get something like that, then yeah, we'll keep an eye on the 21-day EMA as well. In other words, if we somehow, let's say, push back below this 14,510 territory, I will consider maybe a bit of a retracement here to the downside, a correction lower. But if we break this upside line and drop below the 21-day EMA, yep, that's where I will start leaning a little bit more towards slightly lower levels, aiming for this upside line taken from the low the 7th of March. Now, NASDAQ 100. So, NASDAQ 100 is, yep, it's pushing. Well, I would say it pushed nicely to the upside. It overcame that 12,762 territory I spoke about previously and managed to stay above it as well. So that's good news for the buyers here. We could see this one pushing further north. The cash index is currently sitting at around 12,890 zone. So basically at the same spot where it closed yesterday. So I would say this way that as long oh, and by the way, I want to say as well that this idea worked out. So the idea was initially to keep an eye on that 21-day EMA. I said that if we drift lower, if we rebound from somewhere from this 21-day EMA, then yeah, we could see a push, a nice push higher here. For at the moment, I would say the option here for me is to continue monitoring the upside. Even if we retrace a little bit, I will keep an eye on this 12,762 territory, which if provides support, then yes, we could see a nice rebound here and a push higher. Either way, guys, my next target is the 13,542 level. Let's see if we can reach that. But of course, before that, we do have that psychological 13,000 mark, which is something to watch. But yeah, it's not far from where we are right now. So you know, today it could easily reach that level. But let's see if it actually does that. Now, in terms of the downside, I would prefer to wait for a drop below this 12,458 territory right here, which acted as a good area of support recently this week. Yeah, then I'll aim for a bit of a downside. So for the downside, I need to see, like I said, a drop below this 12,456 territory. Okay, now then the S&P 500 also beautiful reversal from the 21-day EMA, so everything's kind of according to the plan here. We also managed to clear the previous highest point of this week near the 4,168 territory, well, at the moment the cash index is also pushing, or at least trying to make its way higher. We're sitting at around 4,179 territory, so in a way there is a chance to maybe to hit that 4,200 level, but if that gets cleared, yes, my next target is this downside line taken from the high of the 29th of March. So, long story short, guys, if you're looking for some upside, and yes, as long as it remains above this 4,168 territory, I'll continue aiming towards this downside line. For the downside, I would like to see it drop somewhere below this hurdle, this 4,075 territory, because as you can see, it acts as a nice area of resistance, then support, and also at the same time, if we drop below this hurdle, then yep, we could see it drop below this 21-day EMA, and potentially this could attract more sellers into the game. DXY, so drifted nicely to the downside here, and well, it's working out nicely here. This idea that I talked about, I said that even if you break this downside line, then keep your eyes on this whole area right here in between the 102.35 and the 102.65 levels. also near that 21-day EMA. So you can see that we kind of drifted higher, then kind of tested these two levels, oscillated around the 21-day EMA, and at the end we just drifted back down. So in a way, this idea kind of is working out, I would say. So at the moment, what I'm aiming here for is this upside line taken from the low of the 10th of February. Now jumping into gold, guys, gold is at a very interesting spot right now. So we have yesterday we have moved above that. Well, first of all, we have moved above that 1858 level. I talked about this one. I said that if we push through this, then I'll aim for the upside, and my next target will be this 1870 territory. Let's round it up here. We did overcome it, but failed to stay above it. Today we overshot it again, tested the 100-day EMA, and then drifted back down, drifted back below this 1870 territory. So I would say that if we continue somehow to trade below this hurdle, maybe a drift back down here could be possible a little bit here, maybe towards that 200-day EMA. But let's be very careful for now. I am, like I said, I'm being cautiously bullish. If we, like I said, if we drift back above this 1870 territory and stay above it, then of course I'll aim for that 100-day EMA again. But if that gets cleared, well, I mean, we could start climbing higher. For the downside, well, this is where a few adjustments have to be made already. So if we drop below all of the EMAs and stay below them, then, well, that's where maybe I could start shifting my attention towards slightly lower levels here. And of course we would have to keep an eye on this upside line here, taken from the low of the 16th of May. So in other words, yeah, if we somehow kind of drift back down here, let's say if we drop below all of the EMAs here, then we could class this move as a temporary correction before another possible leg of buying. So in other words, what I'm also considering here is, from the short-term perspective, is to consider maybe this as a potential ascending triangle pattern. And yeah, if we nicely, we could bounce around in this area here, but then eventually, if it decides to push through this barrier, through this the upper side of the potential ascending triangle pattern, then yeah, that could be quite interesting here for more buyers. Jumping into oil, guys. So beautiful. Look at this, guys. Look at this. I mean, yesterday we were trading below this area, this highest point of 2011. I kept on talking about this 114.79. Look how well it's playing out. So yesterday we were trading slightly below it. I said that if we stay below this area, then yeah, I'll aim for that 21-day EMA, which, as you can see, we managed to reach actually, but we rebounded from it and pushed back above that highest point of 2011 and stayed above it. So this is where we can see that the bulls are trying not to give up, and yeah, so at the moment I would say if you're looking for some higher levels, now this is where a few adjustments have to be made. As you can see here, this barrier, this 117.64, is doing its job right now, and it's providing strong resistance. So if we do climb above it, then I will aim for the upside a little bit, but only up until that upper side of the rising channel here where we are currently trading in, and then yeah, we'll just have to take it from there, because if it struggles to overcome this upper side, then yep, another decline could be possible, like I've drawn here on with my arrow. But if we clear this and we start pushing through, let me just grab a line very quickly. If we start pushing through this highest point of May near the 119.96 level, now that's where it could turn out to be very ugly for these sellers. Ethereum. So it's not really, it had a bit of fun here in the beginning of this week, but then, yeah, as you can see, it declined. So the 21-day EMA, I would say the area near that 21-day EMA did its job. We drifted back down, and at the moment I am just observing this because we are getting closer to this key support zone right here near this 1700 level. So if we clear that, guys, well, maybe this is where it could turn out to be quite interesting for the sellers. And yeah, then we could start aiming for this little hurdle here. Let me just put this one on the chart. There we go. The highest point of 2018 near the 1595 level, and then we'll just go from there. AUD/USD jumping into a few pairs very quickly. So yesterday we pushed higher, nice, beautiful rebound here, and this is one of those moments when I keep saying that, guys, wait for a confirmation break. And for me, I was talking about this yesterday. I said that if you want to look for some downside, a drop below the 0.7110 territory is required. Otherwise, it could still bounce around somewhere around here, but look at this. I mean, beautiful move here. It pushed nicely to the upside, and well, we've tested that 200-day EMA, and this is where we found resistance also near that 0.7265 level. So if you want to go for the higher levels, another push above the 0.7265 level is needed. And if we do push through that, then yes, my next target is the 0.7343 level, marked by the low of the 18th of April. With the downside, at the moment, I am just keeping an eye on this upside line here, taken from the low, the 12th of May. So if we break this, then yeah, we could go lower here. But like I said, it depends. I mean, it depends on where we're gonna be at that point. So maybe one of the other levels could play out. But at the moment, I'm keeping an eye on this area right here. Now, NZD/USD very quickly on this one. So also got a nice rebound from the 21-day EMA. Got a nice rebound in general, and pushed higher, but found resistance near the 0.6568 level right here, marked by the high of the 5th of May. Now, we did overshoot it today, but still we're struggling with it. So at the moment, I would say this whole idea is working out, because what I said before, that if we push and stay above that 21-day EMA, then yeah, we could go higher. And at the moment, I would say this way, that if we do push and stay above the 0.6568 territory, now that's where more buyers could join in. A quick update on USD CAD. So far, so good. Look at this. I mean, previously, if you remember, that's the reason I'm not removing this arrow here. Previously, I talked about this, and I said that if we drop below this 1.72765 territory, I'll go lower, and I'll go slowly to the downside, of course. And initially, I'll aim for that 200-day EMA. And at the moment, you can see that well, this week we broke below that 200-day EMA, then we rebounded, tested the 200-day EMA from underneath for a few times, and failed to kind of stay above it, and drifted nicely to the downside. So far, I would say the target is still this upside line taken from the low, the 1st of June. So let's see how this is going to play out. But at the moment, yeah, everything's looking quite attractive here for the sellers, but again, like I said, we'll be very careful near this upside line. USD/CHF, just a quick update. So far, this is working out nicely. So this week, in the beginning of this week, I said that we might see a bit of a retracement here. Maybe it tested that 21-day EMA. It came very close to that, so actually I'm going to take it as a good result here. We tested the area near it and drifted back down. So far, I'm still leaning towards the downside, but initially I'll aim for this. I'll actually remove the Fibonacci, no longer needed. And what I'm going to be aiming here for is this lowest point of May near the 0.9545 level right here. If we, for now, I'm aiming for that. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can reach that, and we can break that. I hope we can break that, but because a nice good break below it would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and I could continue kind of targeting my target. Yeah, and this 100-day EMA, or this 0.9473 or 60 levels around here. GBP CAD. So haven't looked at this one for quite a while, as you can see here by my chart. So yeah, it's let's remove everything, but it's basically it's at a very interesting spot right now. So we're here. We're near the lowest point of May right now, and we keep on testing, and that level is around the 1.5779 zone. So if we clearly break this barrier, this hurdle, well, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low, and this is where we have to scroll back into history and basically aim for these levels right here, not this one, but this one right here. So this I do understand it's not far, so the 1.5735, but we have to take it, we have to still consider it, because if, let's say, the pair breaks below this 1.5779 territory, but then drifts lower, but then finds support near this hurdle, which is the lowest point of October, or actually lowest point of 2016 in general. So if we find support near the lowest point of 2016, maybe a bit of a rebound here could be possible. We had already quite a decent decline, so you know, maybe a bit of a drop here, maybe a bit of a rebound here could be possible. However, if that's not, you know, what's in planned, but so if we also break the lowest point of 2016, then of course we'll have to aim for something like here, and the 1.5248 zone here, it could be the next target. So GBP USD, guys, this one rebounded nicely, and I said to keep your eyes on that 1.2472 territory yesterday. I said to, yeah, if we drop and stay below it, then yeah, we'll go lower, but we rebounded instead and pushed back above the 21-day EMA. Now, I'm not saying that I'm getting very bullish here, but if, let's say, if it continues to trade above that 21-day EMA, my next target is the this downside line taken from the high of the 21st of February. Euro and ZD, guys. This is something that I mentioned, and I said to keep your eyes on this area, the 1.6368 zone, and also keep your eyes on this potential idea of a falling wedge. If that's the case, then, well, according to all the tier rules, this tends to break to the upside, but until the boundaries of that formation remain intact, it could continue sliding, for example, lower. So it could continue trading within the pattern. We need to see a clear breakout here through this this upper side of this potential falling wedge pattern. Why I'm saying potential, because it still could, for example, you know, confirm, let's say, if it breaks below this 1.6368 territory, it could drift lower. Maybe it will ignore the lower side of this this wedge and just drift nicely to the downside. So in that case, we are having ourselves here a descending triangle. So that's why we need to kind of consider all the options. But if we do break this upper side of the falling channel, the falling wedge, then yeah, we could go for the upside. But at the moment, I'm just observing this one. I want to see what's going to happen near the 1.6368 level. Finally, EURUSD. EURUSD is had rebounded from that 21-day EMA, pushed higher, and we are now trying to climb higher. Let's see if today's day is going to provide that, and if it will help with that. I need to see a clear break above this 1.0787 territory first before, let's say, getting comfortable, with higher levels. So I'll be very conservative on that, and and of course, like I said, I do understand that maybe it's very tempting here to go in already, but let's keep an eye on it, because today we have quite a busy day, I would say. We do have the U.S. unemployment numbers, the non-farm payrolls, so yeah, could be quite an interesting day. But of course, keep your eyes on some of these barriers. For the downside, for me, I need to see a drop below this 1.0636 territory, and then we could go nicely to the downside here, but we're currently closer to this 1.0787 territory, so let's see if we can break that and confirm a forthcoming higher high. So that's it, guys, for this session. I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and I really hope you'll have a fantastic trading day today. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Have your stop losses in place, guys, today. Don't overtrade. It's Friday, so yeah, let's come back fresh on Monday and let's start again. But in the meantime, try to relax and enjoy your time. So thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.